Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Hello, visionary family. Welcome, welcome to another live with Lady Visionary. How are you all doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I really do hope that you're well in all your ways, and for many of us who are preparing for you know relocating to the continent, I hope that we've got our strategies in place and we're just getting really sort of geared up and ready to go when that time is. For some of us it may be a year, for some of us it may be a week, some of us it's 2 years, and so on. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're waiting for more of you to join us regarding this very important topic today. I'll just wait for a few more to, join before we start. We sort of get into this conversation. Welcome. I'm seeing more of you join. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? Once you get into the chat, please just sort of greet us. Make sure you like the stream as well. Give it a big thumbs up. Just let us know where you're watching from. Be prepared to get involved. Be prepared to get involved. And, I have sent out the link for those of you who would like to come in and speak upon the topic. I am seeing more of you entering. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Some of you may be thinking, oh, Lady Visionary, you've been on live twice today, earlier on in the afternoon. So unlike you. And as I said in the previous live that I did earlier on, it was just something, it was a message that I felt like I had to speak about, that I had to just bring to the people. And that's what I did. I came on and I delivered that message. And, if you haven't seen it, you need to go over it. You need to basically watch it later on. But it was all about stepping outside your comfort zone, stepping outside your box. I won't say too much. You need to go and listen to that at some point. We also had Marvin, who called in and gave us some really good nuggets for us to digest. So, do head over there once, you finish with this one. I'm not telling you to go anywhere. Please, please, please don't go anywhere. Stick with me. Stick with me. Don't go anywhere. So welcome, 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 all of you who are joining us this evening. It's evening in the UK. Welcome. We Marvin is saying that he's here again with us. Patrick, hello, hello. Thank you, thank you. Some of you, as I said, would have seen the live earlier, would have been here with me. So thank you for coming back. You guys are loyal fans. Thank you. Or loyal supporters, should I say. So you can see today's topic. We're waiting for a few more of you guys to join before we really we really go into this topic. I won't say too much now, actually, but before I get into it, what I'll say is I'll talk again about the Africa Rising Investment Funds. And that's an initiative that I launched this year. And it's all about supporting young people in the rural settings of Rwanda in business. Those people, young people who have amazing ideas but don't actually have anybody to fund them. This initiative basically supports those young people in those areas. So if you can support, please, please, please do go ahead and support. Another thing is that I'm offering consultations for those who are interested in sort of relocating or investing in Rwanda. If you're thinking about it and you're not sure and you want to have a telephone discussion to help you sort of move in the right direction, please do go ahead and send me an email and we can book you in a telephone consultation with myself. So the email to contact me on is actually in the description bar. So if you are interested, please do go ahead. By we, someone is saying we, I'll come to that, but we meaning my small team that I have behind the scenes. I do have people who support me to you know, keep everything going. So by we, I mean a little team. But yeah, I'm the one running the show basically. I'll do a few shout outs. I think that's all actually. Did I forget anything? But yeah, so um, hello to you, Patrick. Marvelous is saying, I'm here again. And I'm like, thank you for coming back. Mr. Pirate Brain, peace at Lady Visionary. Peace to you. Africa said Muraho. I think you said Muraho, which is in Kinyarwanda, it's, yeah, Muraho. I think the spelling is slightly wrong. But yeah, it means hello. So hello to you too. So for those of you who don't know, yes, it means Muraho means in Kinyarwanda means hello. I've been really struggling with my Kinyarwanda. My husband is Rwandese. He speaks Kinyarwanda. I've been learning, but have been failing. But I'm not giving up because I am that type of person. I never give up. So yes, I'm sticking with it and I'm learning, and I'm teaching my kids as well. Simeon is in the building. Big shout outs to Lady Visionary. Hello, Simeon. How are you? Oh, we've got. Sorry, bear with me, guys. I'm a little bit slow because basically I am now trying to make the setup a little bit better. So I'm now going live on my phone, which seems to deliver a better quality than on my laptop. So bear with me. We've got the homegirl healer in the building. Hey, what's up? My mind ran across you today, actually. Hope you're well. Okay. There's the correct spelling. There's the correct spelling. I couldn't think of the correct spelling, but Muraho. Yeah. Yeah. So guys, hope you guys are all doing amazing. So I think we can start really. As many of you guys would have known before you entered into the stream today, the topic is, should we return to Africa young or old into retirement? And I just want to make this clear because I don't want to come across that I'm being ageist or discriminating against anybody in regards to age. That's not what this conversation is really about. But rather, it's really about thinking about when we want to go to the continent. Because I often hear conversations with, whether it's like, previous to the pandemic when I was attending like church before I moved to Rwanda. And I spoke to some people from, born in Africa, and they're in the UK, and they toy with the idea of returning to the continent, but then the conclusion is like, right, I'll just kind of go back to Africa when I've retired, like 60, 65. And often these are people who talk about business ideas that they would like to bring to the continent, but then they put off the idea because they're like, oh, there's so many challenges on the continent. So you know what, I'm just going to stay in the West. And later on, when I'm 65, 70, I'll head over to the continent and I'll do my final years there. And for me, I found that a little bit worrying. I was just thinking, well, why not do it now whilst you have all of those years? Why wait? And even for me, when I was thinking about going to Africa, and I was like, should I actually wait until I'm a lot older, or should I just do it now? And my head was telling me, just do it now. Don't wait. Why? What are you waiting for? Why give your best to the West and then give your final days to Africa? And, for those of you who don't know, my parents are from the Caribbean, and even hearing my parents when they talk, and even my family members, many of them talk along the lines of, I'll be in Europe and I'll do my final years in the Caribbean. We hear of cases where, someone dies and they've previously said that actually when I die, I would like to be taken to my body to be taken to the Caribbean, or when I die, I want my body to be taken to this particular country in Africa. And I always think, why? Why don't you take your skills, your knowledge, and do it now rather than waiting until for some people, they say that their final years to move to the continent. I do understand that, obviously some people that may watch the channel are at that age into retirement, and this is the point of which they've been awoken, or and so for them, they're also heading to the continent, and that's fine. That's amazing. But for those of us who've still got so many, 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 many years in front of us and are still thinking, oh, I'll wait till retirement, I'll wait till I'm in my 60s or 70s, I'll do my final years in the sun. My question is, why wait? Right, let's see what some of you guys are saying. Right. Right, bear with me, guys. If you are listening in, please do go ahead and like the stream. You can see the topic there. Should we return to Africa young or older into retirement? I have sent out the link, so if any of you are have anything to say upon this topic, please do go ahead and join us. Share your thoughts with the audience. Okay, London to Africa is saying they don't want to go to nursing homes in the West. Yeah, so that's why they end up saying, let's go to Africa or the Caribbean in some cases. Mr. Pirate Brain is saying, but if you are already older, should you still go? I definitely feel like, there's no discrimination. Of course you should still go. Obviously there's a lot to think about. By that time maybe there's a lot of factors in play, health issues and so on. So you really have to kind of position yourself in the right place. But my question is, many of us, are we thinking like that? Are we thinking, well, you know what, I will wait until I'm in my 60s, 70s. I'll give my best years to the West. I'll slave for the West. And I'll come back when I'm tired and I can't cope anymore. I'll go back to Africa. Then I'll go to Africa for some of us who would be going there for the first time. Why don't we utilize our energy, our skills, and everything, bring that to the continent now? Be a part of the progress now for the future. We have a guest who's joining us. We have Simeon. Let's see please bear with me. Hi, Simeon. How are you?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing well. Lovely to hear your voice.
That's good. Did you enjoy your birthday?
Oh, I did. Thank you so much. Like, it was a quiet one because of everything that's going on. But
Yes.
yeah, like I would have loved to be like in Tanzania. That was going to be the plan for me, to be in Tanzania actually, because I was in Rwanda and I was thinking, well, for my birthday, I'd love to go to Tanzania. So the plan was to fly from Rwanda to Tanzania for my birthday, but obviously, it didn't happen. And I thought to myself, I really don't want to put my money into these businesses, like what we've been talking about. So let me wait.
Yes.
And eventually I'll do like a celebration in Africa.
That's good. Yeah. Well, you'd have earned it because you've been patient and waiting. So yeah, you've been
Yeah,
patient and waiting. Yeah, to add to the topic, because it's a good topic. This is, um, I'd say as quick as someone knows what they want to do, then they got to put in their plans. It isn't easy. I mean, some people, like, depending on the position, if they're going solo or they're going as a couple, it depends on the time frame. Um, what did Mr. Pirate Brain was saying, like the comment of, should you go when you're older? I think you should go as quick as you can, but even when you're older, you can still get the benefits, because if we're fortunate enough and we get to the age of being old in the West, we know the culture in the West, they don't respect the elderly.
Hmm.
The elderly can be neglected, and you're at the mercy of other people. We always hear of stories where they're um, they're left in their mess, their feces, or they've been abused in these homes. Where you know that the continent is very cultural and have a high respect for the elderly, and that is key. You know that can help a person actually live longer. You know, um, plus the sunshine, plus the great food. Anyone been to the continent, we know the benefits. So 100%, I think, age shouldn't put a limit on, because we all are on a different type of journey. And some of us found out the correct information we needed to find out, obviously, at certain different ages. So the
That's right.
quicker we can implement it, the better. One thing I would turn around and say is, people have things like stocks and shares.
Yes.
I'm interested in stocks and shares. I think if you use the example of stocks and shares, I think people should, whatever country they want to go to, keep tabs on the currency of that country, and always compare that currency to whatever Western country that you're in currently at the moment, and then that can define, your time frame of when you want to go, or what you want to do, or when you should make that investment. Because, say for instance, say it was the Gambia, for instance. Now, um 63 the last is 1 English pound. Yeah.
Mm.
So if you said you wanted, if you had £1,000 now, that's 6,000. Yeah, that's 6,300. Yeah, sorry, tell a lie. 63,000 the lassie that would be. So you can sort of work out when you have, say, the English money now. This is just a quick example. You know how much it's worth in that country, and then always keep tabs on the prices, like the houses or the land, and it just keeps you focused, because that's one thing is the Western, that it got some serious distractions that could come in your way, as most people know, and knock you off your focus and your target. So I just think that, to keep motivated, listen to channels like yourself, all the other great sisters out there that always are motivating and encouraging, and just keep going forward, man. Just keep going
One
forward. Never give up.
Simeon, is because I think I just need to get your answer on this.
Hmm.
Um, you also put in the chat that we shouldn't be discouraged because of age, and I'm not saying that those of us who are maybe older or nearing retirement, they shouldn't go to the continent. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. They
Hmm.
too deserve to go and explore, and if that's what they want to live the years on the continent, then great. But
Hmm.
I feel like you do still have people who are really far from the retirement age and are still thinking, well, I'm just going to wait until like I reach retirement, then I'll go to the continent, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I get, yeah, I get what you're saying. I think those people, they like a hamster on a wheel.
Mm.
They just keep going around and around. And the thing is, they some people don't even, they feel that is their aim, and they probably don't feel that they're capable of doing it at the moment.
Mhm.
So it's that hamster on the wheel is what they're going through. The thing is, it's easier to hold it off than make the commitment. We got to be
Mm.
honest. It's because it's a commitment that isn't easy. So it really separates the boys from the men. and you have to be, you have to be obsessed with it basically. You have to be obsessed when it comes to going to the continent, um, because as I said, there's so much things that's put into place to knock us off focus. Yeah.
Stay there a minute. We've got a very, obviously you've said a very important point that many of us are sort of on that wheel. We're just used to that. We're in our comfort zone. We're in our comfort zone. And many of us, we do have like dreams and aspirations, but then because we're comfortable, and that's something that I spoke about earlier in what the chat was, that we're confined to this particular box, and many of us in that box, we feel a lot of pressure, we feel a lot of stress. And that comes on to the next comment, actually, because someone's talking about health conditions here. So London to Africa is saying, because of the lifestyle of the West, older people deteriorate so quickly into depression, chronic diseases such as high blood pressure, diabetes, dementia, that's mental health illnesses, Parkinson's disease, colon cancer, So there's all of these issues that, is quite prominent within the Black community, high blood pressure, diabetes, dementia, and that's all to do with our way of life. As you say, Simeon, we're constantly on the wheel. We're always going. We're always going. We're not happy with the situation, but we keep on going. We keep on going. When we have the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm leaving this behind, and I'm just going to go to Africa now and give Africa some of my best years, because I can have a better quality of life that will also have a significant impact on my health in terms of having a positive outcome, not only on my health and my well-being, but also the future of my people, because of what I'll be able to give within those years.
Most definitely, I do agree, but I actually, I think it's down to the individual, because company that you associate with is great. I think it plays a part. I think you need people that are very encouraging around you, even though you don't have to tell them your plans, but they're very encouraging of you wanting to progress. And I think it's a lot of us, unfortunately, we don't see the opportunity when we need to see the opportunity. We miss out. And then when we get older, it shoulda, woulda, coulda. And then we might get. Have you must have come across situations. I've definitely come across. It's not even necessarily to do with the continent. It's to do with the Caribbean. There's so much people that started to build houses, and then they died before they completed them.
Oh my goodness!
There's so much people. I know them.
So many stories planning towards retirement and wanting to go out to Jamaica, and they don't even live to see it. It's like,
no, there's still shells of buildings out in these places that they are just actually shells of buildings, and the people died. And the thing with this topic, what's so great with this topic is we might not be fortunate like the elders to get to say 65 or 70 is not guaranteed these days.
That's true.
So if we can actually make the moves, we got to make the moves. But all of this is definite preparation. I mean, sometimes I say to myself, boy, I wish I was on this 10 years ago. But I'm not really so hard on myself anymore, because I'm starting now. You have to start now. Start as soon as you can. So because everyone's in different positions, but just start as soon as you can. Start trying to make those plans. You got to and be obsessed with it. You got to be like one of those mad religious people that keep on wanting to convert you. Fanatics. That's the word. Thank you very much. You got to be fanatical about it. You know what I mean? Absolutely walking around and trying to say, so people think you're mad. Mad in the right way, because you want to get to your goal. But because if you're that focused on it, your thoughts then become actions. and you
That's
can't
right.
forget them to become in actions because it's what you're studying, it's what you're living, it's what you're breathing. It's just you have to become that obsessed with it. That start to just see it as a part of your life. You know what I mean? Like getting up and walking, and it's a part of your core. So you have to very be self motivated and just simply 100% focused. Not easy though, not
Yeah.
easy. And I think people have to
No,
be realistic, but it can be done. It can be done. It can be done.
almost definitely. And but you made a very valuable point about, we don't want to get to that stage, and many do. And I hear it all the time, from the older generations, who, like I speak to, if I was 10 or 15 years younger, I would have done this,
Yeah,
done that. And I said to myself, I do not want to be that person. I don't want to be that shoulda, woulda, coulda person. And so, it's never really too late, obviously, because as you say, you don't want to be too hard on yourself. But definitely when you're at that level of consciousness and you're aware of what's going on, like I said, like now that you are aware, you start making those or taking those steps, you start to strategize and think, well, in however many years, I'd like to be on the continent because this is what I want to do. And it's going to require me to be quite fit and strong. You know, someone is saying, so Mish is saying, sorry, health conditions may be a concern for some older people hoping to repat to the continent. In the UK, there's NHS, not so in other places, including the continent. So I understand, obviously people have concerns around healthcare in Africa, but healthcare is improving in Africa. Obviously, there's a lot to be done. But then again, there's so many of us from the diaspora who have the relevant skills and knowledge in various areas of healthcare who can go to the continent and set up hospitals, clinics. If we don't do it, who do you think is going to do it for us? And so we
exactly.
need part of that. We need to be a part of the development of Africa, which involves, job creation, build, building hospitals, schools, infrastructure. Who are we going to wait for to do that for us? Because if we're waiting for NGOs and our oppressors to do it, it's not going to happen. That it's not in their interest.
No,
So,
not in their interest. And in the meantime, anyway, I mean, if you're talking about the UK, I know the America's structured a different way, but some people in the UK they come over once a year anyway for all of these checkups. I've known some people like when you see them, they've gone away, and then like they let you know that okay, I have to stay on that system of healthcare. I have to come back every such and such months or once a year. So they ride out the system that way, and I don't blame them to be honest because they put all the work and taxes in anyway. So why can't they benefit from that? So
exactly.
they should be able to benefit from that. Because there's not many things that we can benefit from as black people. Let's be honest. So
Mm.
if you can benefit from the health system until the particular country you're gonna go to sorts itself out, then that's great. Do you know what I mean? That's
I
good.
must say, like, on that topic, because you need to, like, some people head into the continent. That's why I say it's so important to do your research, because a lot of people would think, well, you know, everything that we've seen on the TV about Africa, like, it's been so negative that we also fear for our lives because we're thinking, my God, like I see the situation on TV, no infrastructure, but actually for those who haven't visited, and when you do visit, you'll be like so surprised because you're like, wow, this is so different from what I've seen on the TV. And so that's why it's so important to, go out there and see things for yourself, but also do your research because, like, for example, um, in Rwanda, they actually have health insurance. So you pay into the health insurance yearly and you have access to services. If you're in the
Okay.
rural sector and you go to hospital and you face a particular challenge that you can't deal with in the rural settings, then they will send you to the more specialized hospital, which tend to be in the cities. So you definitely have to do your research, because a lot of people are thinking, like, in terms of healthcare in Africa, there's no infrastructure at all. And I've spoken about this on my channel before. Like, I had my son, my youngest son, he got sick in Rwanda when we were there, and I took him to a private hospital, and he ended up having like an infection, but he was diagnosed very quickly and treated very quickly and started to make really great recovery. And I had to trust in the healthcare system. And you'll be surprised. A lot of these continental Africans are very skilled, very knowledgeable. Even you'll be surprised, like when you meet, say, for example, a doctor in the West, and you meet like a doctor on the continent, the doctor on the continent has way more knowledge than the one who was like trained in the West, for example. They're very, very knowledgeable, very, very skilled in what they do.
Yes, and a lot of them, like, they're into that natural, natural medicine, natural herbs. And another thing that we got to come to terms and talk about is the non-African people that are in Africa. What healthcare are they using?
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? If they get sick, they must be using some kind of healthcare. So there got to be a level of healthcare there. Also, what I notice is most of these countries, if you go to the capital's always got some form of infrastructure.
Of course.
So when us going from the diaspora to Africa, we come in at a certain level. We're not going there as paupers. We go in there at a certain level, so we can afford certain things. Do you know what I mean? So it's up to ourselves what option we give ourselves. Do you know what I mean? If we're in a country which does have healthcare that you've paid into, you can use that healthcare, or you could go to the naturopathic way if you want to try that out, because it can't hurt you. You see, because these type of things, there obviously with the prescriptions and the tablets and the antibiotics and so forth. Once you get on them, it's hard to come off them. You sort of rely on them,
And
and
that's
in
what
fact,
in the West, isn't it? They pack you with a lot of drugs. We're so
yes,
brainwashed. There's a pill for everything, which also makes
has a side
us
effect.
sick.
Yeah, it has a side effect, and then when you start looking at it, you take more pills. Like
Yeah.
I know some elders,
So it's
unfortunately.
pharmaceutical drugs. You just, and
Yeah,
before you're dependent on it, and that's your way of life.
yeah, some elders I know, unfortunately, they're taking pills like Skittles. They're taking them like Skittles. The sweets. They're taking them like that. It's like 14 pills a day. 14 pills a day.
Yes, yes. You're surprised.
Things
Obviously,
like that.
I'm a healthcare professional as well,
Yeah.
and I'm a physio. That's what I do.
Okay.
And I've worked in the hospital setting, and you go through like the medical records of some of these patients, and even it's so heartbreaking. The Black community, see, sometimes they're on more than 20 drugs, different drugs, and
Yeah.
I know that's not beneficial for them. You have to say, Mr. Smith, take your medication. I'm laughing, but it's so sad. It's so
Yes, it
sad.
is.
The Black community, we have so many health challenges, and by the time we want to move to the continent, we've got blood pressure issues because of the stress that we've undergone in these countries. We've got diabetes, anxiety, different sort of mental health disorders, different challenges that we wouldn't normally sort of face, but because of the
Yes.
condition, we're facing it. Issues around stroke. I know so many people, even young people, who've had a stroke. One of my friends, he had great plans to go to the continent, and he had a stroke very young, and it changed everything for him.
Yeah. I,
That's
I,
why
I,
community, we need to we need to really think about our lifestyle and really change that as well, because there's so much we can do when we
Hmm.
just take control of our lifestyle, start to eat properly, prepare, prevent yourselves from going on to a lot of these pharmaceutical drugs. The first thing, as a black person, like my mum was telling me, like, you go into that doctor's surgery, you don't even speak to them for 5 minutes, and they say, well, all right, I'll prescribe you this pill. And I've got this problem. All right, I'll subscribe you another pill.
That's
And
what
you
I'm
have
saying.
been in the doctor's surgery 10 minutes, you see.
Yes, yes.
And then, yeah, go on.
No, carry on. Sorry, carry on, carry on, carry on.
And then say those sometimes have like a knock-on effect, side effects. And for those side effects, you now need another pill. And for those side effects, you now need another pill. So that it just gets, the list just gets endless and endless and endless, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they comment about, I think you did, like how we've seen a lot of documentaries in the UK about how elderly people are treated, a lot of sort of secret recordings of care homes, the way they treat you. No wonder why also a lot of people, by the time they hit retirement, they're saying no way, because they know how they're going to be treated,
Yeah,
especially when your skin is this color. What?
yeah, yeah, 100%. And plus, and the culture, it's the culture, you see, because in this country, UK I can speak for, because that's where I'm living. It's every man for themselves. It's almost as if like it doesn't matter what you've done in your life, good for people. It doesn't come into it. People want to know that you're not inconveniencing them. You're not a nuisance or a burden on them. And like the old people, like we know a lot of people see them as a burden. They're very unappreciative and ungrateful. That's the culture here. So obviously, in Africa, that's not the culture. They see elder people as their mom and dad and aunties and this, what I mean, just as a cultural thing. So for an older person or someone that's going to eventually get older, that's a good thing to look forward to. That you wouldn't be mistreated. You know what I mean? You would, the old retirement homes. I'm guaranteed there's way less of them on the continent than there is in the West.
Yes,
You
that's
know,
right.
they have a system that they put into place, which they definitely want to incorporate and carry on, because it's a good system. It's a very good system. So there's a lot of things that I think people should research and then make the decision. But there's a lot of advantages of being in Africa. There's not 100%. We definitely know the elderly get treated better. The food is naturally organic.
Yeah.
And the food's got a lot to do with the conditions that some of us are currently in, and are going to be in the future.
Of course, definitely. You are what you eat, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, 100%, 100%.
You talk about like being in the UK, like myself, I'm currently in the UK, hoping to head out by before the end of the new year. And so because you're saying, well, you can only talk about the UK, and I'm not sure how it is in the States, but the way like the systems are designed, and I've seen some really horrible scenarios because I've worked in the healthcare system for many, many years. And it's like, like you'll see like an elderly lady, she's very frail, she's obviously like in her last days or
Mhm.
year, and like she's got family members, she's got children, three, maybe two or three children, and no one comes to visit. And as soon as you give the family a call and say, for example, Mary, she's not looking very well. The doctors said that, do not resuscitate. She looks like she's on her way out. Oh my God, they all come flocking round, waiting for the inheritance.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
That,
100%. I mean, I know a case. I know a case. I don't need to say the name, but I'll tell you about the case. There's a case where a lady had, I think she had about 10 or 11 children,
mm-hmm.
and she still ended up going in the home. And imagine, she 8 of those children were daughters, and she still ended up going in the home. Not one of them could take up that responsibility and say, "Boy, that's my mom." Come on, they can live with us. You see, automatically that's the African culture there. But because we've been mashed, we damaged mentally. We copying the oppressor's culture, and that's no good. That's no good. That, you see, you could never have that amount of children on the continent, and that happened to you. Never.
No, never, never, never. They'll
You know
be
what I mean?
all like they. I've actually worked in Ghana as well as a physio, and I'll tell you this: like there was a patient who had a stroke, and he had quite a lot of children, and when he was sick, they all came into the hospital. They were like, "Dad, is there anything I can do for you?" Yeah. They were all around his bedside. Like this man, like he had a whole army, and they were his children. You never see that in the West. I've never
No.
seen how many years of working in hospitals here in the West. Never. And so it's really interesting that you should say that, because yeah, they really do culturally. They respect their parents, and you know, they feel obligated to, be there if they get sick, and anything that they want, they're by their bedside. But here it's not the same. It's not the same. And so even, I feel like for me, it's good to take even my children back to Africa so they can learn about the culture and everything, because a lot of the times people in the West, and I'm sure also in America, they just lose touch. And you also get Africans that start to, and Caribbeans also, who get so like westernized, and they even start to practice a lot of these behaviors. And it's so sad to see, because I've seen it, being in the healthcare system for so long. I've actually witnessed it, and it's so heartbreaking, because I'm like, no matter what even my parents do, I have to be there for them in those days, when they need me the most. No matter where I am, I'm gonna make sure I look out for them. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
definitely. Well, in the West, the black family in the West is far from the Cosby Show. It's not the Cosby Show. All this ideal kind of, mom and dad, and it's broken now. That's finished. That's
Mm,
finished. It's too it's like you can have brothers and sisters, but unfortunately, when you get to a certain age, it's like, don't bother me unless don't bother. It's that attitude that we have, unfortunately, and that's what has us in these positions where you probably get one or two children, if you're lucky, that face up that responsibility, that looking after their elderly parents as they get older. So yeah, the continent will sort out that, no problem. I mean, that will probably be the quickest thing to sort out on the continent, to be honest. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
The quickest thing, because that is literally ingrained in the culture. That's cultural. And I'm almost sure any country in the continent looks on elders with respect. Any country out of them
yes,
54,
that's
that's not
like
that's that,
culture, most
yeah, it's
definitely.
nothing to worry about. That's like literally nothing to worry about. Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
so much, Simeon. I've really appreciated your input this evening.
No problem. Because I'm telling you, I just, I mean, this is controversial what I'm gonna say, but I just wish more brothers was on the sisters level. I'm telling you, because when you talk to the sisters that are, very conscious and whatever, you can get a decent conversation and notice. No one's trying to outdo each other and this, that, the other. So, I know the sisters are definitely keeping it real. And this is not me disputing any male YouTuber, but I have to say the sisters are flying a flag, and they're flying
Wow.
it with pride. So anyone I see, I feel like needs a little bit of support, no problem. I'm behind them. So if I can make a bit of a contribution, especially if I know they're live, I'll make a bit of a contribution or add a comment. It's no worries, no worries.
No, I
All
really
right, so
appreciate that. And it's all about, us supporting each other. That's important, Like we speak a
yeah,
lot about here on, my platform. You probably hear it on a lot of other platforms, but it's different when people just talk rather than like in comparison, sorry, to when somebody actually implements that support. You know, that really means a lot to me. Like, wow, like what? Yeah, like when I get the support, like the actual support from people, I'm really touched, really. So thank you so much. And I
No,
know
but
how much you're behind us.
sorry.
I know how much you're behind us, you know,
Yeah,
waving the
yeah. This no problem because it's what happens is there's not enough positivity. You know, we need more of that. We don't need, the confrontational. We just need the positive. We need more because that's what's going to keep us motivated. Because negative energy, even if certain things are true, negative energy, you can't do nothing with that. There's no positivity coming out of that. So yeah, I'm just happy that there's quite a few YouTubers that are in that positive mindset. I just think it's great. So just long may that continue, and just keep up the good work and keep plugging on, keep believing in yourself. You know what I mean? Because you can do it. You can do it definitely. So just keep plugging on and just keep focused. And like I'm talking to you, I sort of subconsciously talking to myself as well. So this is a two-way conversation, and it's great, man. Just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, keep
thank
doing
you,
what you're doing.
contributions.
Um,
Come again.
no worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch up again. Okay.
Oh, most definitely, most
All right.
definitely.
Then. You take care and shout out to the visionary family.
Oh,
All right,
thank you.
all of you.
You have a good
No problem.
evening.
And you.
Um, that was Simeon. Simeon always has some gems to drop for us, you know, that we can really just, you know, think about and also implement. So we're really grateful that you dropped in, Simeon, to give us some valuable points there. Um, yeah, like if anybody else would like to join me, please go ahead and click on the link. If you've got anything you want to say regarding this topic, um, should we return to Africa, young or old, into retirement? As we've said, we're not discriminating against anyone in regards to age. You're never too old. That's what I say. You're never too old. Some of you heading to the continent are already into retirement. That's fine. But also, I want to challenge those of us who are way off the retirement age and thinking, well, you know what, I'm just going to wait until I get there. You know, you're giving the best of you to the Americas and Europe. You know, you're working for someone else day in, day out, 9 to 5. You're not happy, you're stressed, you're crying, you're anxious, you've got all these things going on, but you're comfortable in your situation and you're afraid to give up that life for a better life on the continent. So that's what I really want us all to really think about. I've already made my decision about what I want to do. I made that decision a long time ago, and I said, I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait until retirement age. That doesn't give me any satisfaction. And why don't I head to the continent, do my thing? If I try it and it fails, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep going because I know eventually I will succeed. And I'll be proud of myself in terms of what I've achieved and you know, along the journey. Many of us are thinking, oh, but what if I go and, I face this hurdle and this happens. Already we're thinking about all the negatives, the negative that's going to hold us back. And then by the time we get to retirement age, we start to go, oh, if only I had 20 more years. Or, if only I was 20 years younger, I would do this, I would do that. You have so many people in the West, they'll go to the Australia, New Zealand, all these different places to, do backpacking for a year. They'll go, would explore, meet new people, learn about different cultures, develop new ideas, developed even business ideas or business plans. But some of us, when we think about heading to the continent for even a month, oh, but what about my job and this and that and this and that? Why don't you think, well, even if I go to the continent to visit, to learn about the culture, to learn more about the language, to learn more about the people, to learn more about the food and how they cook, to learn, you know, to just learn about my history. How much will I gain from that? And how much will that make me into a better person? Rather than always thinking negatively about the continent. Oh, healthcare, we've heard it. Healthcare is a problem. We've got so many healthcare professionals in the diaspora, educated, talented, who could bring their skills and knowledge. We can come together and build hospitals, build clinics, build institutions when it comes to like education. Why wait until you hit retirement to then say you want to go to the continent? Why give the best of you to people who don't even care about you, don't even value what you have to offer, that give you stress day in and day out? You're in a job that you don't like. Many of us, too many excuses. We're capable, we're more than capable of going to the continent and creating jobs now. But we don't want to put in the work. Why not? Earlier on, even in the other live, I said there are people even now in Corona who have positioned themselves on the continent to take advantage of this situation. People are thinking, oh, but Corona, but other people are strategizing. They're like, they see the opportunities even during the pandemic. So what are we waiting for? I hear it. I hear my family members say, oh, if I die, take my body back to the Caribbean. When I hit retirement age, I'm going to go out and live in the Caribbean, live my final years there. That time you can't even enjoy life because maybe you're so elderly and frail. Why wait when we can actually give the best of ourselves to the continent now? Right, let's hear what some of you guys are saying, because I feel like I have been talking so much. So Ignace saying, you're so beautiful. Thank you. Welcome. London to Africa is saying, in the West, it is really hard to help your loved ones. Everyone is stressed. Too many bills to pay. So sad. Yes, it's really sad because on the continent, you know, the situation can be very, very different. I'm seeing so many of you joining as I'm about to finish up. But welcome anyway. You have to go back to listen to everything that you've missed. But if you do want to contribute to the topic, I'll send out the link. The topic is, should we return to Africa young or old into retirement? So if you've got anything to contribute, please do go ahead. Okay, how do I do this now? I will send out the link once more. So if anybody wants to make a contribution, please do go ahead and click on the link provided. Bear with me. Please don't forget, if you have found this what useful, just please go ahead and give me a big thumbs up. I would appreciate that. But if you've got anything to contribute with regards to this topic, please do go ahead and call in. Let's have a look. Jackie, I've been watching retired YouTubers on the continent from the diaspora, and it's great. Equally, there is a growing number of young ones in their 20s, 30s who fearlessly pack up and leave for Africa. Yes, I've seen it. I watch like the Bag Family, and yeah, I see a few others who've left, America and Europe actually, um, and headed to the continent. And that's fine too. But I'm more sort of targeting those of us who are way off retirement, who are waiting, saying, why wait when you can just do it now? So, and I'm not discriminating against anybody. No one is too old to pack up and go, or to realize that actually Africa is where I want to be. No, no one is too old. Trust me. Okay, here we are. Bear with me. Jackie, it's about the mindset. Some simply won't research about the opportunities that the continent has to offer. We're so psychologically damaged. Yeah, I feel like I speak to a lot of people, and I've realized that actually it's just about going on the internet, going onto Google and typing whatever and finding out that information. So then I know that actually this person hasn't done their research. And so if you need clarification, why not go ahead and do the research? All right, we have a guest. So the African Chronicles is in the building. Hey,
Hello, good evening. Good evening, everybody. How are you?
evening.
Well, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you? My second time on live today.
Oh, I couldn't make it the first time. Well, um, there is no need to wait. If you can move right away to Africa, just go ahead and do it. But of course, as usual, I guess we already say that you need to have a plan. You cannot just move from a country to another without any plan, without any money, without any strategy. It will not. It won't work. So take the time you need to do research, which place you want to live, do the research, save money, what you're going to do, move there to for retirement, move there to open a business, move there to look for a job. Not quite sure they need you for a job. I'm not
Really,
sure.
I encourage that as an option. I want us to be job creators because I feel like we are capable, and it's just
Exactly.
mindset.
Exactly. This is what Africa needs anyway, because all the workforce is already there, 1.2 billion people. So I don't think they need you more than anything, unless you have an exceptional skill that no one else has, or else they don't need you. So, but they need you. They need your expertise. They need your talent to create jobs over there. And if you can do so, well, do so. So take the time you need, prepare yourself, put money aside, observe, go there at least once or twice, just to have an idea, and do it. I personally, I'm preparing myself to move to East Africa. Which country exactly? I'm not sure yet which one. I already have a foot in Rwanda. My parents live there, so I can go there anytime I want. But I don't close any door.
Don't mind me asking.
Excuse me.
Where else are you thinking about apart from Rwanda? Because obviously, yeah, we know. I know that you've got a foot in Rwanda,
That's right.
but yeah.
I'm thinking about Uganda or Tanzania. Not sure.
Mm,
Even
yeah,
Kenya. I'm not sure. I'm doing research about this place, about the.
becoming a bit popular now.
Excuse me.
Tanzania is becoming a little bit popular now.
It is, yeah, yeah. I want to see the um, how does it goes, how the economy goes, how the politics goes, and that's why I'm taking my time to observe. And anyway, as soon as I'm ready to move. So I'm just working as hard as I can, save money, and as soon as I'm ready, well, Africa, here I am, and I'll pay you a visit.
Wow. And like you've rightly said, and that's what I encourage as well, is that, you know, having a plan. I think that's so important, no matter when you realize you want to head to the continent, but having a plan. I think that's paramount. That's very important. But one question I want to ask you is, what would you say, or I don't know, well, this is not really a question, but yeah, what would you say to those people who, are far off retirement age and are thinking, well, I'll wait until I'm 65, then I'll head to the continent.
No,
What?
no, don't do that. Don't do that, people. Don't do that.
Why?
Honestly, I think you're wasting your time because, like I said, we just said earlier, Africa needs all the talent you can provide. So if you have any kind of expertise, bring it to the continent. Don't wait until you're old to retire. Use your expertise instead of working in an environment where nobody like you, nobody likes you, nobody wants you there, everybody's oppressing you. Go to Africa and create your job, your company, your business. You know what? You're going to provide work to a lot of people. They're going to be thankful. You're going to be a part of the community because you bring the resource. It's amazing. This is exactly what I want to do. Which business yet? I'm not sure. I'm working on it. I'm doing my research, but this is exactly what I want to do. I want to open a business in Africa. I won't wait until I'm too old for this. No, 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 no. Life is too precious. So why wasting your time in the West, working your ass off without I mean, any compensation or whatsoever, when you can have a really more, interesting life in Africa? This is your place. This is home. I mean, nobody, when I've been there, nobody call me names ever. All my friends or all my parents who've been there never been called names like you're not welcome here. Go back to where you're from. Never. But in here, you know the drill. So yeah, no, no, no. To the youngest people, don't waste your time. Use your youth, your energy, your talent for Africa. Do it. Don't wait. Do it. But you have to have a plan. Again, I would never say that enough. Have a plan where you want to go, which kind of what kind of company you want to open, make do market studies. All you have to do is do research. That's it. Now you have the internet. You can find almost anything on anything through the internet. You don't have to go there. Actually, you do the research from home, and then go there on the trip during your vacation, and use the vacation time, to do more research, observe, and try to mingle with the population, create network because it's very important wherever you are. You gotta have a network, and that's it. And then do your thing. I can wait until I get my money and leave North America to go to Africa. You know what? I envy you. Actually, you're already there. I really envy you. I wish I could be there already. My pops keep
Remember,
making fun of me.
I'm headed, I was there, and I came back, and not because I wanted to, because um, actually a family member passed away, but I'm
Mhm,
heading back. So I'll be back before the new year.
mhm.
Just want to sort out some things. But what would you say to, people in the retirement age who may say like, am I too old to now return to the continent, or to go to the continent? They may have never been.
I have an example. My parents are retired, and they are living their best way, their best life ever. I don't even recognize them. Sometimes I have the feeling I'm talking to teenagers. I say, "Oh, come on, Dad, stop it, stop! What are you doing? Hey, listen, son. I'm in Africa. I'm home. I'm happy. Leave me the hell alone. All right. No, no, no. You can't go there. Of course, like anyone else, take the time to have at least one trip to have an idea to observe the way it is, to observe how people are. But go there, really, really, you can.
Long your parents have been there, but do they wish they have gone a bit earlier? Because you're saying they seem very youthful, they're very happy, they're very, so is that something that they've said? Like,
Yes, actually, my parents really wanted to move. I guess the first time they really wanted to do it was in the during the 80s. Unfortunately, the let's face it, Africa wasn't really that stable back in the days during the 80s. Too much coup, too much problems, too much political stuff. So it wasn't probably the best moment to move definitely to Africa. And that's the only regret. They say we couldn't do it earlier because if we could, whew, we would move there already. So yes, 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 yes. This is the only regret they have, but finally they made it, and look at them now. One day I'm going to arrange a meeting with you and them. You'll see.
oh, I'd love to.
Yeah,
Oh my God, make it happen.
yeah, yeah. I'll try my best.
Do, please do. Right. I'll definitely send you an email now. Oh, that's fantastic. And so, So what do you think about the current, climate? Do you think now is the right time? Like, obviously a lot has changed now. People say that Africa is developing. Um, you spoke about Rwanda. Rwanda, I think, is one of the fastest growing, has one of the fastest growing economies.
Oh
Now in
yeah,
Africa, they're doing really, really well. Like, I'm super proud. And, you know, Africa as a whole, I think they're really sort of like making a stride in the world. And, you know, there's still a lot of areas for improvements. But would you say the time is now for those people who are maybe like hesitant?
completely. Completely, because now you can even see by your eyes the economy is growing, everything is growing. Actually, security is growing, politics is getting more and more stable. uh, yes, that's the really good moment. That's the time. It's the time. Don't wait too much, because too late is too late. What you going to do then? You have
Wow.
to understand the land has limit, right? When
Mm,
there is more land to when there is no more land to buy, what you going to do?
mm.
Too late. So yes, it's the time.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm comfortable. Like I said, I already have one foot over there. I have my land. I have almost my everything. So, but I cannot only count on my parents, because that won't be growth, especially from a grown man. But my point is, yes, don't waste your time. You think ahead, think forward,
Mm,
and yes, it's the time to invest in Africa. It really is, especially in my opinion, in East Africa. When you look at the East African community, the way they move forward, they try to increase their economy, their politics. They put one single passport and every man. Oh yes, 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 definitely go there. You have to go. At least go there and visit for sure.
spoke about land. You made a very good point about land, and Rwanda and Africa as a whole, like the prices are going up. There's the new airport that they're building in Rwanda, so that's Bugesera International Airport. And I did an interview with African Tigress and really shed some light on that, so that people should really try and get in there. If they have ideas, they can invest in land, they can build something, whether it's going into real estates or anything, sports or agriculture.
That's right.
Really thinking about Rwanda, because Rwanda is making tremendous progress and you can be a part of that. So, I'd definitely say if you have the means to invest in land, do it now. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
prices are changing in Rwanda, they are changing. So I think now is a really good time to get your feet in the door, or your foot in the door, should I say. Uh,
exactly.
and on that note, actually, I want to let my viewers know that I do offer consultations for Rwanda. So if anyone is thinking about relocating or investing in
Hmm.
Rwanda, please do go ahead and send me an email and I can set up a consultation via the phone with you. All the details will be in the description box. You've got Timberly Jones who's saying, yes, once my baby turns 1 in April, we're headed to Rwanda. Well, fantastic. And I hope to see you in Rwanda, because I should definitely be there with my 2 boys. Um, one is 2 and one is 1. But then by that time, one will be 3 and the other one will be coming on to 2.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll have my 2 boys in Rwanda with me. They were there and they were having, oh my God, the time of their lives. Like, oh my God, my son, every morning he would get up, he would run onto the veranda, he would just be out in the sun playing. He loved it. He loved it.
Going to Africa, for those who've never been there, it's really an experience, because it's really hard to explain with logic and words. What did I felt? What did I feel when I was there? I felt it's really how can I explain? It's really tough to explain, but I felt something like somehow like a rebirth. Somehow I felt so different. I felt so relieved. I felt so woo. And you know what? That was just vacation. Don't get me wrong. So imagine if you prepare yourself correctly with a good strategy and you move there and you make your life. Oh, wow. No, 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 no. It's something you don't miss that opportunity. People, if you can make it, do it. Don't waste your time in Europe or North America, whatever you are. If you have the luxury to do it, please do it. Really do it. Do it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it at the speed. I'm an example. My parents are already there, and I'm working on it. And my mom and dad keep making
There,
fun of
because
me, saying me like, "You,
you'll be in East Africa, so I'll definitely see you.
oh yeah,
All be. And we have Dominic Lauro saying by 2050, when the population of Africa doubled, the prices would be triple even for plane ticket. So it would be too late, a day late, a dollar shorter.
yeah,
Yeah,
good point."
interesting.
Hence, we said earlier, don't waste your time. Do your research yesterday, save money, try to multiply your sources of income while you are where you are, and move. I mean, oh, come on, stop the stereotype. Oh, one good way to kill the stereotype about Africa: go there and see by yourself. You
Oh
have to
yes,
go.
I wasn't born in Africa. My parents didn't really tell me anything about Africa. I learned it all myself.
Hmm,
And my first trip to Africa was I went to Ghana. That was 2011 for the first time. And even when I told my parents that I was going, they were like, "What? Why?" Because of all the negative stereotypes they had, seen and they know. But obviously that's changed because I also invited them to Africa. And they came to Africa for the first time. They visited Rwanda and fell in love. And I've just been that stepping stone for a lot of my family, sort of meeting Africa for the first time. And I tell you, it's been a phenomenal experience for them. And they've even thanked me. Thank you so much for, just helping me to think outside the box and making this trip to Africa. Wow,
hmm,
I never thought that I would see this day in my life, and I can't tell you how that makes me feel. These are people who never thought that they would ever lay foot on the continent. And after visiting, a few have already been back and a few are planning to go back, and just by that, having that one experience, they're like,
hmm.
"What? I've been missing out on all
See,
of this." Or like they were, oh my God, they love the food, the fresh foods. They were in the markets buying every day. When I couldn't find them, they were in the markets buying melon, buying plantain, buying watermelons. I come to the house and say, "Where's everybody?" Every single person is out there enjoying what Africa has to offer. Or, at the time we were in Rwanda, they loved it. And, as you say, breaking those stereotypes and barriers, you've just got to go out there and see it for yourself, because also when someone tells you, you're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then when you go for yourself, you're completely blown away. And, it really takes me back to that first time when I was in Ghana and I got off the plane and I just
hmm,
felt like it's a difficult thing to explain, but I really felt like I'm at home. It was just a beautiful experience. I stayed there for about 3 months. I traveled across different parts of Ghana. I went to the rural villages. I met like the chief of one particular village called Kasapin.
hmm.
I met like so many children who didn't understand why I'm a black person but didn't speak the language, so having to explain to them, so there obviously, yeah, there's those sort of challenges as well, but they understand once you educate them, they do understand.
Exactly.
Experience in Ghana really was the stepping stone in terms of like bringing me even to where I am today. Like I am so for the continent until the day I die. That's just gonna be me.
Oh yeah, I totally agree because once you taste Africa, you can get enough of it. Really, really. So
I'm
no, yeah.
completely old, and I went to the Elmina Castle, the slave trade in Ghana, learned
Hmm,
a little more about our history that they
hmm.
don't teach in the history class. It's all I heard, like learned about, and I remember it so much. Is you just learn about the fact that blacks were slaves, and they play the video about Kunti Kente, and that's all I really knew, really. So it was amazing. The experience was mind blowing, and yeah, I really enjoyed myself and like so much. So I really would encourage those of us who haven't been to the continent, have been sort of been in like two minds, should I go, should I not? Go out there, do
And,
something new, break
and you know
down the
what?
earlier on I talked about, just breaking outside your comfort zone, breaking
Mhm.
outside the box, step outside your box, stop just being comfortable with your situation. You may feel uncomfortable initially, but trust me, once you get to the continent and you find out what you've been missing out on, you're like, what? Like, you'll be completely sold. You'll be keep going back, because after that I kept going back every single year.
That's what I
Yeah.
had in mind to come back this year, but due to the situation, I had to postpone, unfortunately. But I definitely agree. Once you taste it, you can get enough of it. So my plan
Mm.
is to every year I'm going back there, to visit, see the parents, move to another country, see another country, continue doing my research until I find a place. But in this day and age, there is no way you can say, "Oh, I don't know." No, you can have access to all information from home with the internet. So
Mm.
yes, to answer that question, you can't. The scary stuff is can't be an excuse anymore, because with the internet you can have access to all the information you want. You have YouTubers on site explaining you the pros, the cons, what you should do or not do. You have tons of information. So the scary stuff is no more an excuse. Probably 33 decades ago, you didn't have the information. I may understand. But now, today, oh, no, no, no. That's an excuse. No,
There's no excuse. There's no excuse. And
exactly.
Africa is saying, don't you think black people are scared to take a risk?
What risk? In your everyday life, you have risk. You cross the street, you can hit by a car. You can even
Mm.
die during your sleep. You can be fired almost any time. So what you gonna do? There are risks everywhere. So why you think going to Africa is more risky than anything else? Black people get killed every day in the United States, like it's open season. It doesn't scare you, no? You see? So why going to Africa should be that risky? Why? What? Why? You've been there. I've been there. A lot of people have been there, and they're still here. My only regret, I have to come back where I am right now. I was pissed. I was so pissed when I had to take back the plane and come back to North America. Oh, I was pissed.
You
I
know,
was pissed.
you know what? And I'm gonna say this, right? I'm gonna share this. When I went to Ghana for the first time, when I went to Africa for the first time, and all the experiences that I went through, and I did end up getting sick, and I recovered. But that didn't. I ended up also spending my birthday in an orphanage. Some amazing children with disabilities and with amazing voices. I just thinking about that just
Mm,
completely blows me away, because it was just the most amazing experience. Like these young children with disabilities, but even though they had these disabilities, they were vocally talented, and they seemed so positive, and that sort of that really inspired me. But when I had to come back to the UK, I struggled so much. Like, I remember getting on the plane. No, I got to the airport and I was
mhm.
so emotional. And I was saying, no, 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 Karen, you're not going to cry. You'll be back. You'll be back. You'll be back. You'll definitely be back.
Mm.
But when I got on that plane, I just couldn't help bawling my eyes out. I was like, come on, Carrie, come on, Carrie. Just, you know, take control of yourself. You'll definitely be back. And definitely I did go back. And, I've been to Ghana now probably 4 or 5 times. I've traveled alone to Ghana,
Mhm.
I've got friends there. So, yeah, like, you said that, like, leaving, when you're leaving Africa, you feel like, and even when I flew back to the UK, I was supposed to come for 2 weeks and then fly back
Hmm.
to Rwanda. And oh my God, it was the first 2 weeks of lockdown. I really struggled. But then I had to say, you know what, I'll deal with the situation and eventually I will head back because nothing, as long as I have breath, as long as I'm breathing, my desire is to live on the continent.
Oh yeah,
So,
the best decision ever.
exactly. Um, let's see. We're just going to read a few more comments and we will be ending shortly. Marvelous. We love our European homes and Amazon, so now we scared and spoil. Yeah, it's
I
just about being
You have the point.
comfortable. The funny thing is, a lot of us are comfortable but are very unhappy, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, because you know what, my father used to tell me, black people have the illusion of comfort in the West. And when he told me that for the first time, I was a teenager. I didn't understand. I said, "Whoa, whoa, okay, hold on. What are you talking about, Dad? Come on, enough, enough. You're getting older too fast. Stop it." But I was young, stupid, idiot. I didn't understand, and with time, I understood what he meant. And when the first time I was in Rwanda and I met my father, you know what he said? He said, "Do you remember what I told you? What I told you about the comfort in the West when you were a teenager?" I said, all right. I remember." So this is exactly what Marvelous is saying. We have the illusion of the comfort because we have Amazon and Wi-Fi everywhere. We think that's the beautiful of the thing. It's not. It's not your home. They did not build this place for you. You got to understand that. That's not for you. You happen to be there, but this is not for you. So use your talent and bring it to Africa to build, because there's everything to do here. You are contributing to rebuild the continent. That's beautiful. So yes, we spoil, we spoil. Yeah, spoil brats. That's us.
And that concerns me sometimes because I feel like sometimes when people are so comfortable with particular things in the West or in America, when they get to Africa and things are not the same, they start to also complain. But they can't, like someone had a topic, Africa is Africa. You can't really compare it. You shouldn't compare it. Otherwise, I think you'd really struggle, you know?
Yeah, there is a French story called the dog and the wolf. I don't know if you know that story, a fable.
Yeah, go on, go ahead.
Okay, that's the story of a wolf hanging out in the forest, dying of literally starving, and he sees a house, a nice house, and a dog sleeping there. So I say, "Hey, I'm going to talk to my cousin because he's a dog. I'm a wolf. I'm going to talk to him. I say, hey, what's up, man? I can I can see you feel okay." I say, "Oh yeah, you know what? The people living in this house treats me well, give me good food and all that. Yeah, I can see that. God damn, you have muscle. I can see you healthy. You see me now. Look at me. I'm skinny. I'm starving. I mean, I didn't eat for a while. But what you doing for this? What are you doing to get all this food, this treatment?" Say, "Oh, nothing special. They caress me. All I have to do is to be a little bit submissive, obedient, and they give me caresses and all that, and they treat me well." And the wolf says, "Whoa, that's what a deal. Okay, hold on, come on. Let's have a walk and tell me more about it." So they start to walk, and the dog stopped right away. He said, "What's wrong, man? Come on. No, I can go further. Why? What? Hold on. What's in your neck?" "Yeah, it's a collar." "Oh, a collar? And what's this?" "It's a leash." "Hold on. You tied to the wall and all that?" "Yeah. Yeah, that's the price I got to pay." "You mean, hold on?" And the wolf said, "Hold on, wait. Are you telling me that you're not free to go wherever you are, whenever you want?" I can't." "Hey, man, this is the price to pay. If I want to have all this food, this beverage, this treatment, hey, there is a price to pay. So I had to give up on my freedom." And the wolf say, "Okay, you know what, brother? Thank you very much, but I will walk away and continue my way." So the moral of this story is, you got the so-called comfort of
Mm.
of submission, but you submitted, you're submissive. And when you are free, there are the risks sometimes. But you're free. You can do whatever you want. So the same with these people, and including me, living in the West. You think you have this comfort, the free Wi-Fi everywhere, and all of the infrastructure, but this is not your home. They don't
Mm.
like you over there, and they keep telling you every day. Now you
Mm.
move
But
to
also,
Africa.
pandemic also, if people, if the pandemic didn't wake people up, I don't know what will,
You know
because
what?
this really stripped everything back and took it as far as the skeleton, so you could really see it for what it is.
The
You know,
pandemic
in
revealed. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
sorry,
No, sorry. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
saying like in the UK, they did like an investigation of why COVID-19 was disproportionately affecting, the black community, and it wasn't COVID that was racist. It wasn't COVID that were killing those people. It was
Nope.
racism. It was
Same in
racism,
Canada.
and similar things happening in the US as well.
True.
So we have this, as you say, this fake illusion of inclusion,
Exactly.
and we get
Exactly.
away with it, and we continue to build their empires, failing to build ours. And it's like, come on, see it for what it is. It's in clear print. It's fine, but it's clear for you to see. It's really interesting.
COVID
Um,
was revealed everything. COVID revealed that the Western society are not that strong because they had to struggle with the COVID. A lot of people died. A lot of people lost their job compared to Africa, and they were very surprised. Oh, how come a lot of people didn't die in Africa? Like we are expecting that happen. Yes, but no, it didn't happen. It revealed a lot of things. A lot, like you
mm,
said. Racism killed us, not the COVID. Racism, same in Africa, same in US, same in Canada, same in Europe. Everywhere the same patterns. So, like you said, if this pandemic didn't wake you up, nothing will. But you know what? In this, how can I put this? In this struggle, in this war, let's call it a war. I do not expect every soldier to come back home safe and sound. Unfortunately, some of
mm,
us will be lost in translation. Some of us will be lost during this journey. Unfortunately, because the more you try to awake people, sometimes, you know what, I don't want. Okay, fine, we're going, and you know when they see you going, they see you growing, they see you going, and they see you growing. Now they will say, "Oh, hold on, wait a minute, hey, whoa, maybe I should try it." It will be probably too late. We don't know. It's up to them. But as long as you people do the job, you're good. People will follow you, or they will not. But hey, you cannot save everyone. You try your best. You try your best to wake people to make them realize the potential of Africa. Some of them will follow you, understand that. Some will not, or they will, but probably late or even too late. So hey, that's the natural selection.
definitely. Yeah, there's a comment by Jackie, and I think this is a very interesting comment. He said, if one can order Amazon and just eat, they can order information about the continent.
Nailed it. Nailed
Yeah,
it. Exactly, Jackie. Nailed
I
it.
love that. What? That was so on point, right?
Exactly. On point.
And the great thing about that is that it's free.
Yeah. Free information. Free. Totally free. Free. All you have to do is sit then
Oh,
behind your computer, type some words and do your research, and that's it. Yep. Free.
yeah. Oh
Good
my
point, Jackie.
goodness. Yeah, thank you so much, Jackie, for that. That was necessary. That was good. I just want to say to the African Chronicles, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate,
My
your
pleasure.
contributions. It's always a pleasure to have you.
Likewise.
Um, definitely, it's a pleasure. And you've dropped a lot for us to really think about today. Um, you said something, and you said, if this pandemic didn't wake us up, I don't know what will. And
True.
that's just
Exactly.
sad reality, the sad, sad truth. It's like, what? Most definitely. I agree 100%.
So,
So
guys,
thank
now you know what to do. Do your research, save money, go there, visit, and plan to move there. So you have no excuses. Uh, no excuse. Do it. Really do it. Do it. I don't know what else to say. Just do it.
yeah,
There's
that's
nothing else
right.
to lose. There's nothing to lose. Nothing at all. Nothing to lose. Everything to gain. Everything. I'm telling you. As soon as I get the money, I'm ready. I'm leaving North America once and for all. I'm telling you. I'm going to thrive over there for sure. I'm going to work my ass off, but I'm going to thrive. And when I say I'm going to thrive, I'm going to thrive because I'm going to
Right.
work hard. Yeah,
People like, that's one thing I was saying earlier as well. People just expect like, right, I've got this goal. Tomorrow it'll be achieved. Like, seriously, they're not willing to put in the work. And as you rightly said, you're gonna have to work your, off.
exactly.
I'll tell you this, when I was in Rwanda working on my project,
Hmm.
I was working so hard. But it didn't matter because I know what I wanted at the end. There
Exactly.
was even some days where I was just like, oh my God, this is just too much. But the passion, the drive, and everything kept me, I was very
Hmm.
disciplined up at a certain time, and I was out the house because I knew what I was trying to achieve. And there's something my mom always says that she says, like, anything worth having, you really have to work hard for it.
Exactly. If black people can open businesses abroad in North America, in Europe, why not in Africa? That's the same thing. The same rules apply. The same rules applies everywhere. Work hard, strategy, save, vision. And where are we? Oh, lady visionary. See, vision, guys, vision, and work hard. The same rules apply everywhere. That's it.
We've
No
got
need to
one question
reinvent the wheel.
we'll try to answer. What are the major factors which prevent the young Black people to go to Africa? Please explain.
In my personal opinion, first the lack of education, because it goes very young, as young as possible. If the young people, if the youngsters are not how do you call that, are not accustomed to see black faces in a positive way in their youth, they won't be interested. Look at the media. Have you ever seen in the West the media showing Africa in the positive side? Never. I never seen that in my life. You have to watch the news from there. So you see,
Mhm.
not only money, I'm not sure. Of course, money is always a factor, but when you are educated the right way, it should not be a problem for you, because this is exactly what happened to me when I was a child. And every time I saw image of Africa, there was negativity, so I didn't like it. To me, Africa was, ooh, this disgusting, right?
Mm,
Until my parents showed me the right way what was Africa, and my view changed. You see,
mm,
that's education. Show you the right stuff and the right moment as young as possible. And you see, I have no problem with Africa. It's not perfect, but nowhere is. There is no place on earth with perfection. So that's my opinion about this.
For me, I think you're right with regards to the points you just raised, but also I think a lot of our young Black people are caught up with in terms of materialism. Their focus is on materialism, looking good,
Yep,
taking Instagram pictures for Facebook and all the other social medias. They're distracted.
true, true.
What I would say is that I really don't want to be rude, but it appears to me that they may even be unconscious.
And I think that's the goal of those
Yeah,
social media, is to make it unconscious. Consume, consume, consume. Don't ask any questions. Obey, obey, obey. Do what it
yeah,
tells you. Yes, that's the goal of it, and it works really good. Yeah, I agree.
exactly. They're captivated by a lot of these social media platforms that you know, a lot of the times what's being pushed are different brands and consumerism, and that's where their focus is. It's very much, they're very much distracted.
True.
We've got some more of you calling in. Stay right there, the African Chronicles. Please stay right there. Let's see who
Sure.
we've got here. Peace. Let's see. Hello.
Hi.
All right. Is that your music in the background? Hello.
I'm sorry, my phone was ringing. I just wanted to make one point because I've been watching your show and I've been watching African Tigress, and one thing I notice is that no one mentions some of the things that are coming up that are important. Sorry, I got to put my phone away. Okay. I think one thing that everybody needs to consider when they're making their plans to move to either Africa or the Caribbean is that there are some upcoming changes in travel restrictions and also treatments for this situation that's going on globally. So you need to do your research and find out what those are so you can make your plans appropriately, because if you plan too far into the future for your move, you may have some problems. And I'm not going to say too much because YouTube is doing a lot of censoring, but research ID 2020. And that will tell you some of the things that are coming up.
Sorry, I just want you to make that clear again, because that at that moment, there was a moment of, I think it was muted. So what did you say?
Okay, all right. Research ID 2020. Okay. And it will tell you about some of the changes that are coming up. And it's related to this situation that's going on globally. And it's also related to the treatment that they have in mind.
Wow. Well, I will tell you this. I read some information coming out of, well, from the government in the UK. And let's just say I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed at all.
Yeah, that's why you really don't want to put off your trip too far ahead. Because here in the US, they were planning to bring out the treatment this month. And then their next option was next month. And then now they're saying, well, Trump is saying one thing, and then other people are saying next year. So you never know when it's going to happen. And when that happens, it's going to change everything.
I think we've got to stay alert.
Yeah, you have to do your research. You have to do your research. So
most definitely. I want to ask you a question before you go.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Thank you so much for following the platform and supporting us here. On the topic of could we return to Africa young or old into retirement?
You just broke up, but I'm going to assume that you're asking me what I think about that. And I have to tell you that because I agree with the gentleman there that we've been brainwashed to only see crisis in Africa. They only show us, the starving children and the wars that they create, but they don't tell us that they're creating these guerrilla warfare to control the government there. And I really, I am so sad that I didn't see the true picture of Africa a long time ago. And I also am sad that I didn't really understand the West. I didn't understand how, I'm sorry, for lack of a better word, I didn't understand how evil they are. If I knew how evil they were, I would have left a long time ago, because I was born in Jamaica, and the best memories I have in my life of when I lived in the countryside in Jamaica, and we didn't even have electricity. So I think people in the West are too comfortable with the quote unquote comforts of the West. And I think just like available credit and, all the comforts that we have, the quote unquote luxuries that we have, a lot of those things are really the chains that are holding the slaves in the plantation.
I get you.
I feel really stupid because I didn't figure that out until now. And even my children are smarter than me because they figured out the whole credit thing, and they don't do credit. They save their money to buy what they want, and they live on a budget. And I never figured that out. I lived on the credit system. So, I agree with you that, I think we should have gone a long time ago, but we didn't see the true picture.
Mm-hmm. I definitely, everybody has woken up at different stages. I think there's a lot of information, there's a lot of content in terms of like exposing us to the potentials in Africa. And, I think also don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah.
Just be happy that you're at this stage. And it's about what do you now do with that?
Yeah, it's challenging because, if you knew ahead of time that you would rather live someplace where you had more freedom and had dignity, you'd be willing to just take the risk and make the change. And you'd also probably choose your spouses differently now. I mean, I love my husband, but he is not interested in moving to Africa. But I know he's never seen a positive image. And no matter how much I talk about it and try to show it to him, he just doesn't, I think he's afraid. I think a lot of people are afraid of Africa because of the images they've seen. Now he's willing to move to the Caribbean. So I have to take what I can get. So for right now, that's what we're looking to do. And
I think you should, I was born in the Caribbean as well. I was born in Jamaica. Mm-hmm. And, as I said earlier, no one really exposed me to Africa or anything like my family members, like my mom and dad. And so I learned a lot by myself and by being inquisitive and thinking, well, there has to be another story. Like we see all of this negativity. I'm interested to see more. And that's when I said, right, I'm going. And then when I told my dad I was going, he freaked out. And, he tried to convince me otherwise, but I said, no, I'm going. And he said, what, are you going for 2 weeks? And I said, no, I'm going for 3 months. He nearly collapsed.
Wow.
That was the beginning of my journey. So what I would say is, and I was saying earlier that I ended up taking a lot of my family, to Rwanda, and they experienced Rwanda. They had a phenomenal time, and their mindset was completely changed by just that experience. And so, you kind of keep, I know you don't want to come across nagging, because I know men will be like, oh God, she's nagging me again. But just keep having those conversations. It's important, just find like a country on the continent, and then, just go and visit, convince him to just go and see the place.
Yes, I think it's a great idea. That's the way to go.
But
a little bit at a time.
Sorry?
You just have to. I just have to keep trying a little bit at a time.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. Well, thank you so much for your contributions. I really do appreciate. I do appreciate you coming in and speaking to us today. Do come back again soon.
Thank you, and thank you for your show.
Oh, thank you. You're most welcome. You take care now.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Right, I think that's it. We're going to round up. So, yeah, I think that's it. We've covered a lot of different points.
True.
Is there anything that you wanted to say before we end the show?
One more thing, people, you have to try it for yourself. Enough of the brainwash. Go there, buy a plane ticket, and go there. Just visit, at least to have fun, to see what it is, and you will be very, very surprised. You can believe me. I've been there. I'm pissed because I'm back to North America. So you have to break the mental chain. Go there and visit by yourself. You'll see it's very beautiful. It's worth it. So now you have the all the informations. You have the internet, free information everywhere. No more excuse. No more talk. Actions.
Yeah, most definitely. Thank you again so much, and wonderful evening. Thank you for everything. So thank you so much for everybody who has been listening in to us today. We really appreciate you all being here. I have read like all your comments, or we've been trying to keep up with all your comments. Some of you have really made me laugh tonight, but also a lot of very serious information has been said today. I think there's a lot that we can take away. And like I've always said, just be someone who thinks, how can I implement everything I'm learning through these different platforms? And that's something I really encourage on my platform for my subscribers and beyond. You know, how it's not just about coming and watching, and you know, I know you want to see my cute face. I'm joking, but you know, what can you really gain from this platform? How can you implement it to make your life better, or to, you know, make your transition to the continent, you know, more valuable? And I do hope, you know, each and every one of you have been taking notes and you have found it useful. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you all being here. If you haven't already, please do go ahead and give this this stream a big thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Again, if you feel like anybody else could actually benefit from the information discussed today, please do go ahead and share, because we are trying to grow the platform so that we can reach as many people as we can, as many people who need the information, as many people who can really benefit from what we are trying to do here on the channel. You know, we talk about Africa. Specifically, I would have been talking more about Rwanda if I was in Rwanda and showcasing more on Rwanda, but at the moment I'm talking about Africa as a whole. I'm talking about investing, relocating. I'm talking about, you know, the challenges and some of the solutions. And it's really amazing, because as much as I feel like we need to come together a bit more, I feel like it's happening. You know, some people may say, well, it needs to happen quicker, it needs to happen faster. But I'm definitely seeing our people unite, and I'm definitely seeing examples of that on the continent, of people, you know, who have partnered and gone to the continent and taken that risk, and they're doing really well. You know, so I encourage you as well, like, what ideas do you have? How can you bring those to the continent? How can you build something? How can you be a creator of jobs? The employer. Our people really need jobs. Our young people really need jobs, and I think we are the ones to create those solutions for them and build our continent and be a part of the change we wish to see in the world. And so on the issue of, but on the topic of our young people, that's why I've also launched the Africa Rising Investment Fund, because I've been on the ground in Rwanda, I've been to the rural settings, and I've seen the young people, I've spoken to them. Many of them have very big aspirations, but they don't have people who are willing to invest in them. And so the Africa Rising Investment Funds, it's about supporting those young people to be able to increase their livelihood, that they may create opportunities for themselves and for the next person, and so on. So we're hoping that will kind of have like a domino effect. So if you haven't already, please do go ahead and support us. You can support us by the GoFundMe, or you can support via PayPal. Everything that we get at the moment is going towards the Africa Rising Investment Fund, which is targeting those young people in the rural areas of Rwanda. And London to Africa is saying this is educational topic, not a show. Yes, that's what we do here. We try to inspire, educate, and, you know, build each other up, because that's what we need moving forward. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate every single one of you taking your time out to be here today. Until next time, Take care, guys. Take care.